Today, we're diving into a story that is just a chilling reminder that sometimes the deepest betrayals come from the people you trust the absolute most. We're going to explore the story of Ben, his wife Emma, and a secret that just completely tore their world apart.
Just imagine hearing that. It sounds so simple, but so out of place that it shatters your entire reality. Well, this is the moment Ben's world started to unravel. Picture this. It's late, he's just stepped out of the shower, and from downstairs, here's his wife Emma laughing on the phone. But this wasn't her normal laugh, no. This was intimate, playful, almost flirtatious.
Welcome to my channel, Her Warning. This is a true cautionary tale of love, lies, and the absolutely devastating consequences of keeping secrets. We're going to follow Ben's journey as he starts to peel back the layers of what he thought was a perfect marriage, only to find a dark truth that was hidden in plain sight the whole time.
You know, every story of betrayal, it really starts with a single moment, right? Just one tiny crack in the foundation. For Ben, that laugh, that was the first seed of doubt. And believe me, it was about to grow into something he could never, ever ignore. It's a terrifying question, isn't it? And it's the one Ben was suddenly forced to ask himself. He walks into the kitchen and he finds Emma, who quickly locks her phone, flips it face down on the counter, a little blush on her cheeks. The perfect life was starting to show its cracks. But here's the kicker. It was the lie that came right after. When Ben asked her about it, she just said she was chatting with her friend Melissa. But her tone, the way she deflected so quickly, her guarded behavior, it just didn't add up. Ben knew Melissa's wedding was weeks ago. The story felt so thin, and his gut was just screaming that something was seriously wrong. And that's when the little things started to pile up. Her phone, which she used to leave carelessly around the house, was now always locked and always face down. And then, the next morning, his own brother, Tom, was over for coffee. And the way Emma and Tom interacted, it was just too smooth, too comfortable. It was this unspoken connection that Ben suddenly realized he was on the outside of. So that gut feeling, it became an obsession. Ben stopped trying to ignore the signs, and he started actively looking for the truth. He went from being a trusting husband to a detective in his own home. And this wasn't just one big discovery. It was like a cascade of them, one after the other. First, he finds this old, worn-out photo of Emma and Tom, tucked away in her nightstand. Their arms are wrapped around each other with an intimacy that just screamed something more than friendship. That single discovery, well, that lit the fuse. And then, the digital proof. While Emma was out, Ben just glanced at her phone. He didn't even unlock it, but this message from Tom was glowing on the lock screen. Had a great time earlier. Let me know if you're free tomorrow. The casual, secret nature of it, it confirmed everything. They were meeting, they were hiding it, and his own brother was right at the center of it all. So the evidence is just stacking up against this life that Ben thought he had. A hidden photo album from college reveals years of this deep, almost romantic bond he never even knew existed between them. And the final nail in the coffin? A crumpled valet receipt from a boutique hotel for an overnight stay just 7 months earlier that he found in the trunk of Emma's car. Okay, so with undeniable proof in his hands, Ben knew he couldn't just keep watching this unfold. He needed a confession. So he decided to set a trap. A special family dinner where the truth would have absolutely nowhere left to hide. And he played the part of the happy husband perfectly. He cooked, he lit candles, he opened a nice bottle of wine. Tom and Emma arrived, smiling and laughing, completely oblivious. They thought they were walking into a nice dinner, but really it was an interrogation they had no way of escaping. He let them get comfortable, pour a glass of wine, and then he just dropped the first stone. He casually mentioned a camping trip his mom had brought up, one that happened long before he and Emma were ever together. You could practically feel the air get sucked out of the room. Tom's smile just vanished. Emma stiffened. Their whole easygoing act was gone, just like that. So after he mentioned the photo album and watched them squirm, Ben slid the final piece of evidence across the table, the valet receipt. Tom's face went completely pale. You could hear Emma's breath catch in her throat. Their denials were just weak, panicked. The lie was finally collapsing under the weight of the truth. Pushed into a corner with absolutely nowhere left to run, Emma finally broke. The fight just went out of her, and it was replaced by this chilling resignation. She looked at Ben, her eyes filled with tears, and she confessed. She admitted they'd had a thing years ago, but she swore it was over the second she met Ben. But then Ben turned to Tom, who couldn't even meet his gaze. And that's when the full, devastating truth came out. It wasn't just in the past. It happened again. After their wedding. The ultimate betrayal, confirmed by his wife and his own brother. In that one moment, the marriage was over. The brotherhood was over. The only thing left for Ben to do was to somehow pick up the pieces and decide what his life was going to look like now.
And Ben's path forward, it was so methodical, so decisive, there was no hesitation. He didn't want explanations or apologies, he wanted a resolution. He confronted his brother, he contacted a lawyer, and he served the divorce papers. He just cut out the poison and began the long, hard process of healing.
This is what he told Tom. No yelling, no fighting, just a cold, final severing of their bond. He just erased his brother from his life, a brother he trusted more than anyone. It's just a powerful, heartbreaking end to a relationship that was built on a lifetime of memories, all of it shattered by deceit.
You know, as Ben was packing up his house, surrounded by boxes and the ghost of a life that was all a lie, he didn't feel broken. The anger was gone, and it was replaced by this quiet determination. Locking that door for the last time, it wasn't an act of loss, it was an act of liberation.
So, that leaves us with this final, lingering question, doesn't it? Ben chose to move on, to rebuild by cutting ties completely. But is that the only way? Can trust that's been so profoundly broken ever really be repaired? Is forgiveness even a real possibility? Or is it just a fantasy?
I would really love to know what you think. What would you have done if you're in Ben's shoes? Let me know. Share your thoughts in the comments below.
If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button. Share it with someone who might need to hear it, and of course, subscribe to Her Warning for more cautionary tales like this one. Thanks so much for watching.